Hello everyone and welcome to a week of Linux news for the 16th of July 2017. Say, does anyone know what the time is? I wonder. Date plus %s. Ah yes, it's been over 1.5 billion seconds since 1970. Fedora 26 has been released, so this article is from Fedora Magazine. What is new in Fedora 26? So of course we have the thousands of improvements from various upstream software that we integrate, including new development tools like GCC 7, Golang 1.8 and Python 3.6. They've added a new partitioning tool from Anaconda, the Fedora installer. The existing workflow is great for non-experts, but this option will be appreciated by enthusiasts and sysadmins who like to build up their storage scheme from basic building blocks. It also has many under-the-hood improvements, like better caching of user and group info, and better handling of debug information. And the DNF package manager is at new major version 2.5, bringing many new features. Really, there's new stuff everywhere. Read more in the release notes. Okay, I'll leave a link to the article and you can take a look through if you're interested. So, what else do we have on terms of the more visual side? So GNOME 3.24. Because Fedora is aimed more at the GNOME desktop. So will I take a look at it? Oh, I don't know, it's not exactly my specialist area, Fedora. The weekly update to the development work with Ubuntu. Sounds quite interesting, this one. So they've been working on some upstream fixes for GStreamer to work towards accelerated video playback. So modern Atom chips, Cherrytail Apollo Lake, and even cheap notebook chips, Braswell, can play 4K H.265 without breaking a sweat, even on a 2-watt CPU. Unfortunately, they usually come with low-quality screens and never HDMI 2. Ah well. At least you'll have some benefits though. There's been some improvement on the Bluetooth speakers, where sound output will automatically switch across to the Bluetooth speakers. On a connection preferring the high-quality A2DP Bluetooth profile over the low-quality HSP-HFP one. There is an important caveat/bug though. Because of the way GDM and Pulse Audio interact, you can't use a Bluetooth audio device with a screen reader at the greeter. Once you're logged in though, everything should work again. And for users who don't need to use a screen reader, the A2DP profile is now available for once you're logged in. We're working on a proper fix for this with Upstreams. The community build of Unity 8, which is called YUnit, this is the version for desktops, now has packages for Ubuntu 16.04. So we're pleased to announce that YUnit is available as an overlay repository for Ubuntu 16.04 LTS. And we do have some installation instructions provided, although they will not work in either Kubuntu 16.04 or Ubuntu Mate due to the updated Qt libraries, see known issues below. And the issues are most of the Qt/KDE applications should not work anymore. This is due to the updated Qt libraries 5.7.1, so if you're currently using any Qt/KDE applications, the last command sudo apt install YUnit desktop will fail. Great! The issue will not be fixed in Ubuntu 16.04 LTS. The only exception is we'll try to test and fix any issues related to the Ubuntu SDK. We will also try the possibility of upgrading Qt libraries to version 5.9, which is also an LTS version. And the last issue, proprietary GPU drivers will not work. We have verified the proprietary NVIDIA drivers don't work. So if you're using it, you need to switch to the open source driver, Novu, before installing. Oh great, that's me done for then. But there you go, there's the option to try YUnit if you don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, or you do have an NVIDIA graphics card that you can use the open source drivers on. From the register, Russia and China vow to kill off VPNs and Tor browser. New laws needed because today's censorship is not good enough, apparently. So Russia and China banning the use of virtual private networks as their government assert even greater control over what citizens can see online. Russia has unanimously adopted the first reading of new legislation that would ban the use of VPNs as well as online anonymizers like the Tor browser, if they don't block access to a government-run list of websites. That list of websites will include any sites that provide software that can circumvent censorship, And most insidiously, the law will require search engines to remove references to blocked websites so citizens don't know what they're not allowed to see. A second law that was also passed in its first reading will require mobile phone operators to identify specific users, block messages if requested to do so by the state, and allow authorities to send their own messages to all users. Any companies that fail to comply with the rules can be fined up to 1 million rubles. That's $16,500 US. And for China, they've started enforcing rules approved in January that do pretty much the same thing. The Chinese government requires that all VPN services apply for a license, and as part of the license requirements, they're expected to block access to websites and services that the Chinese government doesn't approve to. There is a legitimate use of VPNs when you want to connect back into a corporate network. Do those fall outside the rules, or are they included? If they are included, then the businesses in Russia and China will become a lot less secure. From Reuters, Trump administration limits government use of Kaspersky Lab software. Got to hate those Russians. So the Trump administration on Tuesday removed Moscow-based Kaspersky Lab from 2 lists of approved vendors by government agencies to purchase technology equipment, amid concerns the cybersecurity firm's products could be used by the Kremlin to gain entry into US networks. Yeah, that's pretty rich compared to what the National Spying Agency have been doing. The delisting represents the most concrete action taken against Kaspersky following months of mounting suspicion among intelligence officials and lawmakers that the company may be too closely connected to hostile Russian intelligence agencies, accused of cyber attacks on the United States. Again, I'll refer back to what the NSA and CIA have done. Kaspersky products have been removed from the US General Services Administration list of vendors for contracts that cover IT services and digital photography equipment. In a statement, Kaspersky Lab said it had not received any updates from GSA or any other US government agencies regarding its vendor status. Kaspersky Lab has no ties to any government, and the company has never helped nor will help any government in the world with its cyber espionage efforts. They have been caught in the middle of a geopolitical fight where each side is attempting to use the company as a pawn in their political game. Gee, it's like the Cold War all over again. Perhaps America and Russia should fire off some nukes at each other. No, don't do that actually. Just keep attacking each other over the internet. Much safer for everyone. So I've never heard anything to validate these accusations, and I would very much like to see some kind of proof, not just oh yeah, but they've done such and such. No, actually show me some evidence that data has been leaked out to certain IP addresses, websites, and these leaks stopped happening as soon as you removed Kaspersky software. Because until then, I'm not going to believe you. Now, one I do know about is the Czech-based AVG, which does leak out data. Yes, if you were to say you're going to stop using AVG, I would find that perfectly acceptable. From Pseudo-Satirical, and no, this is not actually the stupid news for the week, but I thought it was a bit amusing, so I'm going to read out a couple of these paragraphs. A long-thought extinct species of humankind has been discovered hiding deep within the depths of little-known and rarely spoken about GNU social network, according to researchers at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. Professor Robert Steins, who led the intriguing research, says that the findings are quite an achievement in modern times. You peer long enough into the dark depths of the internet, you can still find some interesting examples of mankind that we honestly thought were long extinct. He said, "Be aware we're not talking about the Free Software Foundation members here. We already know they were using networks such as GNU Social, which was the core area of our research. After all, they created it. What fascinated us was that you could actually find other people in GNU Social. Our research finds that not only did some humans actually find and manage to work out how to get onto GNU Social, which was quite a surprise in itself, but that they themselves exhibit some fascinating traits not seen amongst many of our fellow modern human beings and compatriots." Yeah, I can't remember hearing about GNU Social either, so... And finally, for this week's stupid news, it goes to Malibu Media. So, from Torrent Freak, copyright troll claims Texan woman downloaded over 54,000 torrents. Malibu Media, the Los Angeles-based company behind XArt Adult Movies, is behind many of these cases. The company has filed thousands of lawsuits in recent years targeting internet subscribers whose accounts were allegedly used to share Malibu's films via BitTorrent. When the accused pirates don't settle, Malibu generally ramps up the pressure. This was what happened to Jenna Howard, a 29-year-old consultant from Houston, Texas. When Howard protested her innocence and refused to pay the proposed settlement for downloading 15 pirated videos, the adult company came back with 2 spreadsheets of additional downloads that were linked to her IP address. This tactic is not new. Copyright trolls regularly provide lists of other downloads of content they don't own to show the defendant is a prolific downloader. However, in this case, the list is unusually long. The spreadsheets provided by Malibu Media suggest that Ms. Howard's connection was used to download 54,000 torrents in recent years. The downloads in question are all over the map, literally with titles ranging from 100 meg of woman-ass pictures through to, can't pronounce it, and La Casa di Topolino. A couple of pictures of the alleged torrents, and the spreadsheet suggests that Ms. Howard made over 54,000 downloads consisting of an estimated 27 terabytes of data over a 4-year period, which is an average of 31 items per day over the last 4 years, and literally hundreds of items on certain days, including, for example, downloads of movies in hundreds and in languages that Ms. Howard doesn't even speak. This leads to only 2 possible conclusions. Either Ms. Howard's network was hacked, or second, Malibu's research is wrong. Yeah, I would say that. And apparently she was even downloading dozens of files from her connection while she was on honeymoon. Yeah, I would think that wedding was very boring. Better get some adult porn in there while you're at it. So that was a week of Linux news. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.